Welcome back to the Science Fiction Film Podcast. This is your host, Dean. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming back to listen to another show by us. Sitting across from me, looking lovely and dapper, is Jessica Vizina, the sub-host.
That I look like either of those things right now.
Well then.
Thank you.
She's one of those people who just can't take compliments, which makes my life really fun. What's going on, Jessica? How you doing?
Doing pretty good.
It's November 1st, and it's raining and cold, and it's perfect because the rain reminds me of this film. And I'm ready. I'm pumped. I'm ready to get talking about a fantastic film that I hadn't seen in several years.
Yeah, me neither.
It's funny how that happens, isn't it?
Yeah.
You watch something so many times over the course of several years, and then you go, I will never watch that movie again. And you don't for many years, and then you go, holy shit, that is a good movie. And that's exactly how I felt when I was watching this movie this time around.
I felt pretty similar. I must have seen it a million times as well when it first came out. It was on TV all the time.
Awesome. It was, wasn't it? Yeah, it sure was.
But I hadn't seen it so long. There was like so much stuff I forgot. Like, it was exciting.
It was really good. And before we get too deep into Jurassic Park and some other stuff, we're going to do a little bit of housekeeping. I've got a couple of things written down here. The first is, if you have not heard our 28 Days Later podcast that we released, which most of you listened to already, the end just ends. There's no outro. That's because I screwed up, and I ended up re-releasing that episode with the outro music on it. Do not feel compelled to re-download it, but if you're anal like I am, you might want all of the episodes that you have downloaded in your little collection there, if you keep them, to have the ending on. And if you do, just go ahead and delete it and re-download it. And it should be fixed. So I apologize for that. That was a lesson learned to not hasten the post-production part of your shows. So lesson learned, I apologize for our content having that little hiccup. First, in second.
Wow.
Second. We are going to talk about the contest, but not yet, so stay tuned. The contest, we're going to have a little segment for it. As promised, it starts in this episode. So
Yay.
Take some notes.
Woohoo.
Next, I would like to quickly point out that if you go to libertystreetgeek.net, we have a survey up, and that survey helps us get to know you a little bit. And what that does is it helps me identify how you found out about us, where you heard about us, if you have any feedback that you want to get to us, and a few other pieces of information. That helps our show grow, which leads me to my next point. You guys help us spread the word. That's just the reality. If you haven't yet, please consider giving us a review at iTunes or Stitcher. The more of that we get, the more noticed we get, the bigger we get, and the benefit to you, other than helping us out, is that the bigger we get, the more we can do. More shows, more films. We can break out of the science fiction genre and try horror or other stuff or whatever. And the more recognition we get, the more we get spotted in iTunes, and the more people discover us and they realize that we are badasses. And they come into the fold with all of you. So that's what we're looking for. And my computer just made a little clinking noise, which is annoying. So there's that. Next, what I want to talk about is, so I can close Facebook, which just made that annoying little bloop noise.
Wow.
Is I want to read the Facebook comments because I mentioned to people, hey, send me some of your comments regarding this film. So I'm going to go through these pretty quickly here. So Scott Lyons, first of all, thanks to everyone who posted on our Facebook page, Liberty Street Geek, Facebook.com/Liberty Street Geek if you're looking for us. Scott Lyons said, another classic John Williams score sets off a visual extravaganza. Fantastic casting. This movie proves that CGI can work when done properly. Awesome comment. Very true. I'm glad that he mentioned John Williams because he will be mentioned in this episode. Adam Talbot, a frequent contributor to the show. I remember expecting it to be some hokey Look at the Dinosaurs movie and had my expectations shattered into a bazillion pieces. That's a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
Brilliant piece of film and proved how CGI used responsibly can lead to, can really add to the atmosphere and believability of the film. Very true. Thank you very much for that, Adam. Philip Childers, I hope I'm pronouncing the last name right there. I saw it in the theater when I was a kid, and it has been a favorite of mine ever since. I'll take this movie over most of the trash that's been released in a long time. Great film. Can't wait to hear the episode. Thank you, Philip. We can't wait to talk about it, and thank you so much for the comment. And then, of course, dear friend of the show, Scott Rooney. I watched it this last weekend in anticipation of our podcast. The scary moments are still scary, and the moments when I felt in awe when I first saw it still leave me in awe. Also, very well written dialogue and great acting. Yes, 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 I agree with these assessments. And thank you guys for writing into the show. We are pumped about getting that response. Very cool that you guys answered the call to action. We're very happy with that because we want to hear from you guys. We want to foster and engender a wonderful community where people can talk films.
Yay.
So thank you very much.
Thanks, guys.
Now, why don't we just get to it, because we've labored here, or belabored, I don't know what you want to say.
I don't know either.
You're the English person. Long enough. Why don't we, do you have any more preamble? How about you? Why don't you tell me about your first experience?
I don't remember if I saw it in theaters or if I saw it on video. I must have seen it on video because of the year that it came out.
Okay.
But I was like obsessed with it.
Yeah.
I thought it was like the greatest thing ever. I wanted it like to be real. Like I wanted it to be a Jurassic Park that you could go to and see dinosaurs. And it used to come on TV all the time, and I probably saw it a million times when I was younger.
Awesome.
And I always loved it. And it scared me when I was a kid too. Like I thought it was really like there's definitely some genuine scary moments.
Very cool. Yeah, I like this movie a lot. And my younger brother, who's actually doing some new art for us, he loved this movie, man. And him and I watched it a lot of times when we were both a lot younger. And it was just in 1993. Wrap your head around that for a minute. 1993. This movie was made. The CGI,
looks good.
It's great. What an accomplishment. And boy, they were sort of inventing shit as they went along in this film. It's one of those type of films. And we should probably get right into our production notes. Okay, so I've got some stuff. I watched some making stuff, as I like to do, and I'm just going to hop right into it. So the first thing I want to say is that a lot of people say the Cretaceous period is when there were dinosaurs, right? And Jurassic didn't really have them, and blah, blah, blah. And I think, well, I'm pretty sure the filmmakers knew that, since they employed a actual paleontologist named Jack Horner. I'm pretty sure they knew that. But would you watch a movie called Cretaceous Park?
Yeah, no.
Doesn't Jurassic Park just sound more awesome?
It does.
And it sort of lends meta value to the film because Jurassic Park is what they're marketing. And if the film takes place in the 90s, which it does, because you can look at the timeline, it says 91, and here's the growth of the park. There's like a graph.
Yeah.
It's most likely that the average person who wants to go see real-life dinosaurs isn't going to be critical of the fact that the park's called Jurassic Park. So I think it plays into the realism of the idea of the movie, which is it's just this marketing scheme and it sounds better and it looks better and stuff like that. So I thought that was, because I've heard that before. Like I've heard other people say, well, technically it's not the Jurassic period where most of these dinosaurs were technically speaking.
Is that what dinosaur experts sound like?
No, they don't.
Oh.
We're going to get to how they sound, because we got a few in this episode.
Oh, I took a dinosaur class once in college, so.
What was it called? Dinosaurs?
It was called The Life and Time of the Dinosaurs.
This is horseshit.
This was Providence College. I got credits for this. 3. It was a science class.
Dinosaurs are such it's crazy how they have like this mythical place in the hearts of, at least in America, I can't speak for the rest of the country, but every like young child, and yes, I'm exaggerating when I say every one of them, but how many kids have like dinosaur toys?
Yeah, I know.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's just everywhere, and that's why I think it can speak to you, because it just taps into that childhood like wonder.
Yeah, it does.
And it should be noted that this is the first Spielberg film that we're covering on a science fiction show, huh?
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah, we haven't covered any of his other ones yet, so a good first one to pick.
I agree.
King Kong obviously served as inspiration. for Spielberg.
That makes sense.
He wanted full-size dinosaurs. He actually employed some experts in the field: Phil Tippett, Stan Winston, Michael Antiari. These guys were all like visual effects gurus, but they were like animators. Like Phil Tippett had this whole team of animators, and this was before it was decided that CGI was going to be the way to go. So there's this whole interesting backstory to these guys, Stan and Phil and these guys getting together to do this, that they wanted them to look real. And as they get more into the film and they start coming out with these ideas, at one point, the thing where it says, where I think I'm extinct, there's a line like that in the movie that comes from a conversation that Phil Tippett had when he started to witness the CGI that was happening in the film as they were making the movie. And he literally thought like him and his team were going to be like fired by Spielberg.
Oh yeah, that's what they said to Grant, like that his job is going to become extinct.
Right. In P.S. I don't know why I keep saying animators. They're like animatronics guys, not like, they don't like draw shit. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't remember, but we'll talk about Mr. Tippett. Phil Tippett's been involved in a lot of movies. Star Wars, the original Star Wars films, Dragon Slayer, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, RoboCop, Willow, Jurassic Park, Starship Troopers he went on to do. Most recently he did Twilight Saga, and interestingly enough, he's going to be doing Jurassic World, which is kind of neat.
Yep.
So
2015.
Here's a guy who, imagine emotionally how he was feeling when he started to see this magic before his eyes take place on a computer screen. He's like, fuck, I'm out of a job.
Yeah,
I'm
that's crazy.
Totally screwed here. So I thought that was kind of a cool little, and we'll kind of get into it as we go, how they ended up coming together, because they did make some full-size stuff. A 9,000-pound T-Rex. That Triceratops is a full-size Triceratops. They used a lot of the robotics and animatronics in conjunction with the CGI. I guess what they were saying is that these CGI guys, because it was new, nobody had really done living creatures before.
Yeah.
It was like the T2 thing, or like the Thing in the Abyss, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was stuff like that. And they were going to do these living creatures. And this Phil Tippett character and his people were experts on the way like things moved, because they're animatronics people. So the CGI guys didn't have that knowledge, and that's how they started to form a visual effects team that could kind of work together, which I thought was kind of cool. So, more interesting stuff. Like here you are, you're looking at what's possibly the end of your job, and suddenly you have this whole new thing that you can do and contribute to the film. So I thought that was kind of neat. Spielberg made it pretty clear that this was kind of a monster movie, but he wanted the monsters to be animals.
Yeah.
Not things with ill intent. Just
like
acting the way they act. And I think Spielberg's passion for that vision comes through in the Grant character, and he's like, they're just animals.
Yeah.
He says that a few times.
Spielberg has said, though, that he's the most like Hammond, if he was going to be like anybody in the movie.
Right. Yeah, the guy behind the scenes with all the big ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Wants to make a theme park.
What else you got? Do you want to take over a little bit?
I have a bunch of good stuff. Let's see. I guess I'll do my actors who could have been in this movie. I have some good ones. So, Jim Carrey, they considered him for the role of Ian Malcolm, which is Jeff Goldblum now, obviously. Sean Connery was offered the role of John Hammond.
Ooh, okay, I could see that, definitely, especially in '93.
The following women all auditioned for the role of Ellie.
Oh, I think I heard one. Sandra Bullock,
Gwyneth Paltrow, Julianne Moore, Helen Hunt, Terry Hatcher, Elizabeth Hurley.
Helen Hunt could do that, I think.
I hate Helen Hunt, sorry.
I know you do.
Anyway. And Christina Ricci auditioned to be Lex Murphy, the little girl.
Oh, no shit.
So the biggest one is, and I love Sam Neill, and he's really good in this movie, but this is hard for me to not wish it had been this way. Harrison Ford turned down the role of Dr. Alan Grant.
Wow, huh?
I love Harrison Ford pretty much more than anybody in the world.
My only concern is that it's almost like a weird hybrid of the character of Indy. So you know what I mean? I wonder if he would have been like, cracking whips and stuff. I don't know.
Maybe he would have.
Like, Jesus, girl, I wish you'd take me in the bedroom, crack a whip on me. You go, girl. I don't know what that voice was, but
me neither. It was actually
I think it's going to be a new character.
Okay.
In our show.
Along with Marky Mark?
Girl, you know what I'm saying. That boy's so sexy.
All right, go ahead.
Oh, my God. All right, that's all I have on actor notes.
All right, so I'll jump back over. So storyboards are typically like these kind of comic-y looking frames that they draw to kind of visualize the film. Phil Tippett made these 3D storyboards with like
That's really cool.
animatics and clay, which really helped with the visualization process of coming up with the film, which I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, the whole Jack Horner thing was cool. Jack Horner, the paleontologist that they hired, he's the guy.
He's famous.
Yeah, he's the
Hears
guy
him all
who
the time.
said that birds were closer to dinosaurs than reptiles.
Which is true. Yeah.
pretty cool. Well, it is really. Have you done research?
I took a dinosaur class, for Christ's sake.
Oh, that's right.
Hello. I got an A.
She got an A, so she knows all about Jack Horner.
Yeah, I do. I learned about that class, and I learned about dinosaurs being like birds.
Did he tell you about this?
Dino DNA.
No.
No dino DNA.
Okay. Well,
Sorry.
we could hope, right? There's a
Okay.
couple of early shots. I actually saw some of these mock-ups that never made it. They're on YouTube. The raptors, when they break into the kitchen and they kind of leer around and they look, and one hisses at the other one. When they came through originally, they had like these reptile tongues, like
Oh
you know when
my God,
snakes'
yeah.
tongues come out and go in to like sense heat or whatever. I don't know what they do.
That's how they smell the air, I think.
If you say so.
I just made that up, but I think it's true, maybe.
Yeah, okay. You and Jack Horner are hanging out, having tea. He's giving you all the secrets of the dinosaur.
He actually taught my dinosaur class.
Oh, did he?
No.
How did he just came in with like plastic dinosaurs that you can get for like
Hello.
$1 and they're like purple and red and gray? Why are they all those stupid colors?
I don't know. Kids like bright colors. I would know.
This is a Stegosaurus. Oh, cool. So anyway, and Horner was like, that's terrible. He's the one who suggested take that away, and that's when they got into that whole bird angle thing,
Yeah.
which I liked a lot.
Yeah, me too.
They now a lot of the wide shots would use Tippett's techniques, which were the animatronics, and that was the original plan. That's what they were going to do
Yeah.
until CGI took over. And this guy Murin, I don't know his first name, I apologize, but this guy Murin worked on T2, right? He actually asked Spielberg to allow him to try dinosaurs and CGI in the wide shot. He said, let me give it a shot. Terminator 2 came out, what, 91?
I
Yeah, 91.
think so.
So here's this guy who's worked on an amazing film, right? And he did it, and that was like the first real living creature, like I was saying.
Yeah.
And it's at this point when Phil was like, okay, game over, I'm extinct. You know,
Right.
He thought he was done
Of course.
in that moment, so.
That's crazy.
But they started to call Phil Tippett like a CGI animal trainer. I thought that was kind of neat. Because,
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a good title.
The realistic moves and stuff like that, I thought was really cool. Do you want to go a little bit here while I organize?
Yeah, I have a bunch of stuff I can talk about.
Go.
First, a little bit about the book. So Universal paid Michael Crichton $2 million for the rights before the novel was even published. It was published in 1990. Pre-production of the movie began in 1989 using the manuscript. So the book
that's
wasn't
awesome.
even out, and they were working on the movie.
No kidding.
That's how big they knew this was going to be. Like, they were
Wow.
really, really into this.
Crichton got lucky there, huh? Well, not lucky, but he's a good writer. But I mean, Jesus.
That's crazy. I have a lot of good Jeff Goldblum stuff.
Oh, no, awesome. Jeff Goldblum, love that guy.
So the scene where Malcolm gets out of the car and he waves the flare to like save the kids.
Yeah.
It wasn't written like that in the book or the script. He was just supposed to run away. And he was like, no, guys, I have a better idea. Let's make it heroic.
Of
and that
course.
was totally him. Of course.
Love that dude.
I talked about this a little when we did The Fly. How he wears all the same color clothes. He always wears black, the character of Ian Malcolm in the book and in all the movies that he's in.
Cool, yeah.
In the book,
I like
he
that.
explains it the same exact way that Brundle explains it in The Fly, that he doesn't want to waste time thinking about what he's
Oh,
going to wear.
no shit.
So in the book, that's exactly how
Interesting.
Ian explains why he dresses that way.
Oh, that's so cool.
Jeff Goldblum is actually a little, I don't know, he's a man about the town. As when we talked about The Fly and he was going out with Gina Davis, that's how she got the role. So after this movie, he started going out with Laura Dern.
It's because he's so sexy in the Jeep on the tour.
They were engaged for 2 years.
Awesome.
Then they broke it off.
Bummer.
So it wasn't made to be. I have one more fun one. So after the film, everybody in the cast was given a Raptor model, like a big one.
Like full size?
Yeah,
Like
signed by
6
Spielberg.
Awesome.
Gift. So
What the
this
hell
is
did
where
that
people
cost?
had it. Ariana Richards, who plays Lex, a
Yep.
little girl, she put it right in her house. So when you open the doors, like the first thing you see. So people would come in and be like, oh my God. Jeff Goldblum says it's like a cherished object in the middle of his house. He doesn't say where, but he says
He probably
that's
has it
what's treated. Probably in
roped
his
off
bedroom.
with like velvet ropes. He brings all the chicks over, and he gives them that little kind of like a laugh, and he's like, he's like, check out my dinosaur.
Yeah.
Check out my dinosaur. It's sorry. He uses those like ums and weird
With his
beats
hands
and
always.
stuff. Yeah, exactly.
Laura Dern's raptor is my favorite. She put her raptor model in her son's bedroom near his crib when he was a baby.
Cool.
And then all of a sudden he'd get old enough to like be like, holy shit, there's a dinosaur in my room, and would like scream. He'd wake up in the night and scream, and so she has to put it in storage. But she hopes that one day it can go back in her son's
Like
bedroom.
imagine that shit. Like if I take my coat and hang it in a weird place, and I walk
get
in,
scared.
I go, holy shit, there's a tall man in my house. Imagine a goddamn 6-foot velociraptor.
You're just like a baby going through your whole life with a velociraptor over your bed, and then like one day you're like conscious, you kind of realize like this shit is actually terrifying.
Exactly right.
There's a velociraptor just about to eat me.
You know, on that whole casting thing that you were just talking about,
Yeah.
one of the things Spielberg had said is that he wanted credibility. He didn't want stars. He wanted good actors.
Which I mean, the difference between Harrison Ford and Sandra Bullock,
Of course.
and you know, having Sam Neill and Laura Dern,
Sure.
it's two totally different
Yep.
ways to go. You know.
Absolutely, yeah. I like that a lot, though. I like that he did that because, in the end, the dinosaurs are really the big stars.
Oh yeah,
you know
definitely.
what I mean? The vibrating glass of water, the iconic scene, was so hard to do.
I believe it.
Which is hilarious because you think, oh, they just vibrate, put a large bass thing, and it makes that ripple. But what happened is that this is how they came up with the idea. Spielberg was rocking out to Earth, Wind, and Fire in his car one day, and he had a glass, and the music was blaring, and it rippled, and it stuck in his head. And he was like, wouldn't it be cool if we had concentric vibrating circles to signify the arrival of the T-Rex? And he gave it to this guy, Lantieri, this sound guy, and he's like, make it happen.
Yeah.
Lantieri said he called sound engineers like all over the country. Like, how can I do it? They didn't know how to do it.
That's crazy.
You'd think it was such a simple thing. He finally figured it out because he had a glass of water at home. He said, all right, here's what I'm going to do. He put his guitar next to it, and he went boom, and he pulled a string, and it made the exact ripple effect that
Yeah, Spielberg
he
was
had
talking about.
described. So what they did is they take a guitar string under the car, and they wire it underneath the Jeep, and they have an effects guy underneath the car, and he pulls it and he plucks it to get it to make that thing in the
That's
scene.
crazy.
It's
That's
so
a lot of
crazy.
work. For
I know
a ripple.
that's what he said. He said it was like the hardest effect for the briefest amount of time that they did.
That's crazy.
So they said that the T-Rex, they had issues with the T-Rex because
Oh, I read that too.
it was really raining, and it was getting soaked, and it was already 9,000 pounds.
Yeah.
And when
it's
it got
dangerous.
wet, it got heavier and unwieldy. They had to keep the greatest is if you watch the behind the scenes stuff, and they're like cut, and they run in there, they got rain jackets on and towels, and they're like toweling the T-Rex off. It just looks
Yeah, I heard
funny.
they use like blow dryers and stuff to try to dry it. I also heard they would turn on by itself and like scare people.
Yeah.
Which is terrifying.
Speaking of sound, though, one of the things I wanted to say is that this is something I thought that was pretty interesting. I actually grabbed this quick note from this sound guy who talks a little bit about the sound of the film. Have a listen. Here we go.
First sound was a dolphin recorded underwater, and it made this high-pitched scream. It was really horrific. Then I would combine that with a walrus. The walrus had a deep, resonant chest cavity roar, and between the two, it blended into a single scream that sounded like a scary animal who was also big.
Walrus, yes.
That was terrifying.
That was
I
awesome,
read a
right?
lot about the different sounds too, and they said, I forgot who, but like somebody's like Jack Russell Terrier is like all the, like a lot of them have dog noises in them.
Yeah.
And it was like some guys like Jack Russell Terrier is like the dog in all of them.
That's awesome. So yeah, that's pretty good stuff. Do you have any other production notes you want to cover? You had some more?
No, I think I'm good. I think I'm, those are my good ones. There are a couple things that'll come up as we talk about the movie.
Yeah. Oh, you know, I will say this: the ending was changed. Originally,
The children were gonna die.
No.
I'm just kidding.
Jesus Christ. Sorry, kids. Originally, they were going to have the falling T-Rex bones kill the raptors.
That's very silly.
But Spielberg wanted the T-Rex to kind of like be the hero.
Yeah.
And I started thinking about this. The T-Rex kind of is. He kills the annoying lawyer, which nobody likes.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, he causes issues for our main characters, but then he saves them in the end, right? It's
Yeah, he was kind of a nice guy.
It's kind of interesting that the terrible lizard, as it were, is the savior of the day. And then the last one I'll say is that Dean Cundy was the director of photography. He's done Escape from New York, The Thing, and Jurassic Park. So as DPs go, he's our third film we've covered. We've talked about this. He makes some very pretty visual stuff for sure. I don't know if I have anything else. Do you?
Let's talk about this movie.
All right, let's do it. Okay, so why don't we get right to the beginning here, where we learn a little bit about something. So
we learn a little bit about something.
We learn a little bit about something, this Grant character and how he feels about kids. But before we get to that, here's one of the things I noted in this film right away when I started watching it. I thought to myself, I love how there's really no like discovery. Like it's already established that these dinosaurs exist. And to show you how dangerous it is, we see like these armed guys. They're
all
terrified. We get these establishing shots of their like stoic faces with these, like you said, huge like cattle prods. And we already know that there's an entire operation already set up. We don't have to go through that whole thing.
Of them figuring it out. Yeah, that's a great choice.
And Muldoon is there dressed like, you know, the late Steve Irwin. He's like, you're all right. You're all right, mate. And despite the precautions they take, we get an immediate fatality. And that's that. So we know, like, this is a dangerous endeavor already. That's the first thing they're telling us. They're telling us, like, holy shit, this is already established. We've already discovered these things. Here they are, and it's dangerous. It's not going to be this cute theme park ride, right?
Although, in all of our dreams, we wish that it was.
Yes, absolutely.
And that we could be on it.
So we got Grant and Sadler uncovering a fossil. So we're going to meet our characters. The beginning really is we set it up, we show them that these things exist, and then we know that because of this lawsuit worker thing, we need some experts to go here to sign off on this entire thing, right? And that's what we do. So we get out to the back. Grant, we start to build these I think Grant and Sadler are likable almost instantaneously, especially her. She's so charismatic and kind and interested in what people say and positive and friendly and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And we have probably one of the most memorable moments of dialogues for me.
Velociraptor's a pack hunter. See, he uses coordinated attack patterns, and he is out in force today. And he slashes at you with this 6-inch retractable claw, like a razor, on the middle toe. He doesn't bother to bite your jugular like lions. He slashes at you here.
Nasty.
Yeah. This is a pretty traumatic and horrible story to tell a child.
I was so happy that he did.
That doesn't look too scary. I'm a little dickhead.
But I love how Dr. Grant's like, he slashes you here, and then he slashes him pretty low. I'm pretty sure he's like, what's he slashing off this kid's like baby dick? Like,
yeah. He's like, you'll be neutered.
That's basically what he does. Like, I'm pretty sure he just ran that thing across that kid's groin. That's fucked up. Like, the shot is like the kid from the waist up, and you see his hand go low, and he's like, and he does that like slashing motion.
Oh my god.
And like, what are you doing? But the other, you know what I love about this scene, by the way?
What?
There's like, everyone's wearing hats and flannel and denim.
Yeah.
They're all dressed exactly the same. It's pretty funny.
But what's this kid doing on this dig anyway? He's talking about dinosaurs.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
Did you say dinosaurs?
Yeah, dinosaurs.
Yeah.
All right. Why is he looking at those dinosaurs?
I don't know. He's probably
I don't know why that kid's on that dig, but his parents better get under control, put him on a leash.
What do you want, Mark Ward's sisters?
Get that fucking kid off of the dinosaur
Isn't his
dig.
name Mickey Ward?
Did I say Mark Ward?
Oh, yeah.
Mickey Ward.
Mark Wahlberg is the actor.
Yes.
Oh my god, what are you doing playing in the fucking sand? Get a job.
Sorry.
Wow.
Hey,
Wow.
we learn about raptors. They're dangerous. We learn they're pack hunters. And of course, all this dialogue
And we
is
say,
throw away.
this
It comes
is going to
back.
come back. I'm pretty sure we're going to see a velociraptor.
Most
Just
definitely.
saying.
And then we have the eccentric and rather sort of rude Hammond interruption in his proposal.
They insist on outside opinions.
What kind of opinions?
Well, your kind not to put too fine a point on it. I mean, let's face it, in your particular field, you're the top minds. And if I could just persuade you to sign off on the park, give it your endorsement, maybe even pen a wee testimonial, I could get back on schedule.
He's funny.
Instantly likable, right? He's quirky though. He's like invasive and kind and quirky.
Yeah.
You can tell he's just like an eccentric rich guy, and he shows up to do his thing. He's in all white. It reminds me kind of like the Island of Dr. Moreau, like the remake with Brando, where he's in all white. I don't know. It's just kind of funny. We gotta cover that movie, by the way.
Add it to the long list.
So this is the whole point of bringing them there. You know, it's funny when I think back on watching this as a kid. I don't really recall why they were there. Like it didn't matter.
I thought that it was like their kids. Like that's how I remember the movie. It was like they were at the park with their kids. And I didn't remember why, but that was my. So I'm like, where the hell are the kids? Like, why does this guy hate kids?
And then we have our little moment with Nedry, Dennis Nedry, played by, of course, Wayne Knight or Newman.
Yeah, like somebody said his name, and I'm like, who's that? And I'm like, oh, it's Newman.
Exactly.
I'm never gonna learn another name for it.
That's true. I don't think he'll ever be anything other than Newman.
No.
But we learn that he is he's basically like Newman except evil.
Yeah, Newman was kind of evil.
Yeah, that's true. He's basically Newman.
Just instead of like delivering mail, he's like stealing like dinosaur DNA and delivering that.
That's right. And we're not quite sure why, but I like how they give us the scene early and then it comes back.
Yeah, because I had no idea.
In the way it comes back, I just really liked it. It was cool. It was like, ooh, that fucking guy. That's the moment you have when you're watching it.
And you see he's sitting right there, and you're like,
uh-oh. And then there's this real poignant shot on the Barbasol can.
Yes, yep.
And he's so, like, when he's having that dinner with the guy, he's like, I don't know if he laughs like Popeye. But he's so happy about, like, the operation of this Barbasol can and how it squirts out.
I know.
He's so excited.
And then he puts, like, the shaving cream on his piece of pie. And I'm like, is he going to eat that shit? Like, isn't he going to get confused and be like, oh, whipped cream? No, that's not whipped cream, sir.
P.S. I don't know if I'd be walking around with $750K in a bag. Just saying.
Yeah.
I don't know much about Costa Rica, but I don't know if I'd be trolling the streets with $750K. And that's that. But... So we get everything set up, and then we have, of course, an incredible moment in cinema to me, one that sticks out in my head very much. I was watching this, getting goosebumps, sitting on my couch before work last week when I was going to rewatch the film, and I had it turned up kind of loud, you know, and stuff like that, and I just was like, whoa, this is so cool. And that is the arrival at the island, which is heralded by the great John Williams. John Williams has done so many great films, of course, most famously, the Star Wars films. So let's have a listen to the Welcome to Jurassic Park. Awesome.
That's like amazing. And that music, like you remember it so well.
It sticks in your
like
head.
all the songs from like the music from this, like you remember it. Like I hear that, I'm like, oh, I remember this. It makes you like feel things.
That's
it's,
right.
Like, so cool.
It does make you feel things, and that's what's so good about it. Like,
John Williams is amazing.
He's so good. He did so much for Star Wars. Like there's so many iconic pieces of music from those films, and in this film, he does it again. You listen to it and you go, "That's John Williams," but he's not like poaching Star Wars film music.
Right. No, exactly.
But you can hear his signature. Like he's so good at that trumpet fanfare, that big brassy sound.
Yeah.
You know, it's beautiful.
Like you're like, this is something epic.
It is epic, exactly.
That's what his music like feels like. Like something. This is going to be something just epic.
Right, and think about that. You could have done that with a different composer, and it would have had a different feel. It could have been darker or mysterious,
yeah,
or something like that. This is just that first moment where they're approaching. It's this huge, epic sound, and they get to the island.
Yeah,
and it's totally awesome.
Yeah, and that's where we introduce Ian Malcolm.
Yes, Ian
He's
Malcolm.
a mathematician and a chaos theorist.
Chaotician, he says, I think is the word he uses. Chaotician. Okay. Sure.
He's good at chaos theory.
It's funny, I'm looking at my notes, and it just says Chopper, Dr. Malcolm, trumpet fanfare, awesome. And then I wrote John Williams just rules.
You
That's my notes.
love John Williams so much.
I do. When I have some babies.
I know you do.
Little composer babies.
That's really awkward.
No, I don't
Would
think
you
so.
tell them about velociraptors just like Sam Neill told that little boy?
I would probably tell them about.
Dino DNA.
That's what I would do.
Yeah, that's. Oh, do we see the dinosaurs first? I guess
Yeah.
we'll talk about that first.
Easy there.
I'm ready to talk about dino DNA.
Little
Let's
rabbit
do it.
hopping around too fast for your
Ha,
own
you
good.
know that I have that problem pretty much all the time.
So yeah, that's true, but that's okay. So the first sight of the dinosaurs, like, there's such good reactions.
Yes.
It's like the way he fumbles with pulling off his glasses, the look on his face. Meanwhile, you have the she's some kind of botanist. I don't know the fancy
She's
word.
a paleobotanist.
Okay, paleobotanist obsessing over this leaf, which a paleobotanist would do,
Yeah, she's
knowing
like, this doesn't belong
it's
here.
extinct, right?
Yes.
And that's what's so awesome about it. She's looking at it, she's distracted, he sees the Brachiosaurus, and he's just like, holy shit. And we get beautiful music once again. It just adds to the awe of the film,
Yeah.
the score, the acting, the score, the shot of the animal. Just, it's beautiful. And right away, we are like, holy shit. Like, there was no build-up, right? There was no
Yeah.
big reveal. It was just like, we're here, here's a dinosaur.
I like too that we see their reactions before we see the dinosaur. Like,
Absolutely.
I love that because I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe it, because you know that you're gonna see the dinosaur.
And don't you just get the impression when you learn more about Grant and Sattler? I mean, it's not a deep character piece, this film, let's
No.
face it, but when you observe these two people together, these two very likable people, especially, like I said, Sattler, and they're so passionate about what they do, and they're so excited about getting funding to do what they
Yes.
want to do, it just is such a well-conceived idea for Spielberg to say, we're going to have reaction shots on them before we reveal the dinosaur.
Yeah.
Because you know that these people, as passionate as they are about this line of work, it's going to mean everything to them. So rather than showing the audience that, we see them, and then we see that.
Yeah.
It's
And
great.
I mean, tears in their eyes. It's so good.
Absolutely.
Like,
Yep.
it's such a
I
great.
almost had them too, to be honest.
Oh my god.
Yeah, dinosaurs.
Dean cries at dinosaur movies all the time.
Oh yeah, big time. Big baby. Big
All the
baby.
time. Dinosaurs.
Goldblum.
I love him.
He's awesome. Freaking Brundlefly.
I bet if those dinosaurs were real, they would like him because of his sinewy body.
Yes.
I just get the feeling that, like, you know, in real life, like a velociraptor would probably hug him.
Yeah, that's with its mouth.
Yeah, totally.
Until he
based on
stops
his
breathing.
muscles. They just jump in his arms.
Awesome. All right, so we're gonna take a quick break in this action, and we're gonna do our trivia segment, baby.
You're gonna do it right now?
Right now, let's do it. So, first of all, let's herald it in with some music. Yeah. So, as promised, the Science Fiction Film Podcast is giving away a Kindle. The way it works is you have to guess the podcast episode that each clip is from. Each correct guess will get you a ticket. That's going to go into the fishbowl. We already got the tickets.
We don't have a fishbowl.
We got something. We got a
We have
salad
hats.
dish.
We have a lot of hats.
We do have hats for days. We'll throw it in a hat. I don't know. We'll get a Sox hat or a Boston Bruins hat around here somewhere. So we'll toss it in a hat. Each correct answer gets you one ticket. And then there's going to be a bonus question at the end, and it's going to be a sound. So you're going to get 3 clips, then a sound. The sound is worth 2 tickets. So get yourselves ready. Get ready. Get a piece of paper if you got one. If not, note where you are in the podcast. Jot down the number, the minutes that you're into the show, and get ready. Because we're going to do it. So we're going to start things off. This is going to run all of November. We're going to send it out to you in December. So you're going to get 4 cracks at this. Now, for those of you who've been listening to the science fiction film podcast episodes for the films and not Walking Dead, that's fine. This contest will not be showcased in any of the Walking Dead episodes, and you don't have to know the Walking Dead episodes. This was for the science fiction film stuff. So, sorry, Walking Dead people, this isn't for you, but you might listen to both, so if you do, you're in luck. But without further ado, we're going to do this, and I might play it twice just to give you a little bit of help. But here goes our mystery clip.
Gorier than I expected it to be too.
That's what it's known for in science fiction, like clubs.
The goriest. Why are you in a science fiction club? Maybe Mrs. Weir should join.
I think she started it.
Give her something to do.
Hot damn. That's some dark shit.
And I totally agree. I think one of the best angles to make a horror movie at is like bodily fears. Like especially for me, a big thing that freaks me out in horror movies is like seeing like, you know, something alive underneath somebody's skin crawling around, like that kind of shit.
What the fuck's with the monster mash shit? Like when the that's not what happens when you get electrocuted, dude. It's pretty fucking horrific. Like instead they get a guy sitting there going like shaking his eyes. All right, those are the 3 clips. And since this is the first time we're doing this, I'm going to play that one more time, but from now on, it's only going to be played once. So I'm going to give you one more crack at this.
Gorier than I expected it to be too.
That's what it's known for in science fiction, like clubs.
The goriest. Why are you in a science fiction club? Maybe Mrs. Weir should join.
I think she started it.
Give her something to do.
Hot damn. That's some dark shit.
And I totally agree. I think one of the best angles to make a horror movie at is like bodily fears. Like especially for me, a big thing that freaks me out in horror movies is like seeing like, you know, something alive underneath somebody's skin crawling around, like that kind of shit.
What the fuck's with the monster mash shit? Like when the that's not what happens when you get electrocuted, dude. It's pretty fucking horrific. Like instead they get a guy sitting there going like shaking his eyes. Okay, so there are your 3 clips. Let us know what podcast episodes those are from. And here is your mystery sound, which will be worth 2 tickets. Have a listen. It's going to be brief. That's it. That's all you get. I'm not playing it twice. I hope you had your ears on. So,
I don't even know what that sounds from.
there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You got your 3 clips. You got your mystery sounds. To get information to me, I guess I should tell you guys this, email me at lsgpodcasts@gmail.com. That's lsgpodcasts@gmail.com. Or you can text your answer to me, but you got to tell me who you are. And that's 508-938-9168. So you can email lsgpodcast@gmail.com, or you can call 508-938-9168 or text. So any of those will work. Don't post on social media because you get to give the answers away.
Yeah, don't post on social media.
So
I only know the answers to 2 of them.
So those are some questions. There you go. I hope you guys get them. We made them the first couple a little easy. The third one was definitely a little more difficult. And then of course the mystery sound is pretty hard if you're not familiar with it. But yeah, I just figured I would set you guys up. And now we probably should get back to
Dino DNA.
All right.
Woohoo!
So where I left off in my notes here is one of the things I wanted to talk about, which was we were talking about reaction shots, right?
Yes.
So the audience gets to experience exactly what Grant Sadler and Malcolm do. We're right there with them. That's what's so brilliant about this film. It's like we're touring the park with them. Mm-hmm. We're on the ride. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We're touring, we're learning things as they learn it. It's a great way to give us exposition while still maintaining the through line.
Right.
Right? It doesn't seem out of the ordinary, and we can talk about the plausibility and all that crap, but it's just really about we're on this adventure with these people and things are being revealed to us as they learn them.
Yeah.
And it's so cool, like, I don't know, that I can just snuggle up my little Tootsies under a blanket, eat some popcorn, and just enjoy the adventure of this movie, you know? It just takes you out of reality in those moments where you're watching it. It's pure escapism, this film, at its finest.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're at Jurassic Park. And that's what's so brilliant about this film. And I can't talk about that enough in this. So, yeah, I really like that.
Yeah, definitely. And I think, like you were saying, you know, they can get a lot of exposition in a good way because of the fact that we're learning things as they learn things, and that is the dino DNA and why that
Dino
works.
DNA.
They're able to explain this whole giant thing to us. That probably took chapters in a book.
Sure.
Through some silly little video that doesn't seem out of place because
Right.
they have to teach them too. They're like, hey, here's how the ride works. You get to see this little video about dino DNA.
Right.
You get to see John Hammond clone himself.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm here 3 times.
Yeah, that's a cute scene. Does that not just feel like a Disney ride? That
yeah.
whole presentation.
I wanted to be on that ride.
That's what I'm saying. You almost feel like you are, and it's just cool. But here's where scientists and PhD scientists like these folks are start to go, wait a second. And of course, we need to leave it to our good man, Dr. Ian Malcolm,
Love
to
that
start
guy.
asking questions.
So the kind of control you're attempting is it's not possible. It's what the history of evolution has taught us. It's that life will not be contained. Life breaks free and expands through territories and crashes through barriers painfully, maybe even dangerously. But there it is. I'm simply saying that life finds a way.
And that whole thing is in response to them saying they made them all female, they engineered them.
Yeah.
And Ian Malcolm starts to really be vocal about what's going on. He's the first character to really be like, wait a second.
Wait a second.
What exactly are you doing here, man? This isn't gonna work, right? Something's up here.
Yeah.
Life's gonna break through this whatever you've made here. It simply finds a way. It's not, you can't control this, I think
Right.
is what he was saying. And then he goes on to the ethics of it later, but we'll get to that clip when they get to the dinner scene.
Yeah.
But these moments where Grant's just so like inspired, he gets off the ride and he goes into the lab and they watch the Velociraptor get born. That's
Yeah.
what leads to Malcolm. What the fuck's going on here?
I think Jeff Goldblum said that thing was creepy. He looked like that little Velociraptor.
Really?
That's like creepy.
Oh, in real life?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm
Like
like,
Jeff Goldblum in real life said, ooh, I don't like this little thing. It's kind of creepy.
that's awesome. Says the man who was bended down.
Yeah, says the man who like
Puked on somebody's
Babylon's
foot.
love. Yeah, come on.
But you can tell that we already know that Grant has some raptor knowledge. We know, the audience knows a little bit about raptors, velociraptors at this point.
Yeah, all this stuff isn't true, by the way. In the movie, like Velociraptors aren't really like that.
I didn't know anything about velociraptors until I saw this movie, so I had no idea anything about them.
I guess that they're like a different size and they do things a little differently. And then after the movie like was about to come out, like they discovered a whole new dinosaur that was like exactly like the Velociraptor in the movie that had a different name. And they were
No
like, what
kidding.
the hell? We put this dinosaur in a movie and then they discovered it. Like, this is crazy.
Really? That's
yeah,
interesting.
I can't remember the name, but
Huh, I did not know that. That's some weird, wild stuff.
Google that shit,
Oh yeah.
as I like to say.
So then we get the whole feeding time thing. Well, what's his name's talking about? We've got some sea bass you can eat, and he's and at this point in the film, we still haven't seen the scary dinosaurs, right?
Oh yeah. Now
We've
it's
only
like,
seen
look at these
the-
nice
the-
ones. Look at these
the herbivores.
babies.
The Vegisaurus, is that what they call them?
Yeah, whatever you call them. Vegisaurus.
I'm gonna start calling vegetarians Vegisauruses.
Oh my God.
So, and then we get the introduction. We see Robert Muldoon returns. He's the guy from the opening
Yes.
incident, as it were. He's saying, they should all be destroyed. I'm a jolly fucking safari guy. That dude.
I'm a safari guy.
Dressed like Steve Irwin.
Yes, exactly.
He talks about how the raptors attack in packs, how he's like, when that one's looking at you, you can tell she's working stuff out, like thinking.
Yeah, he talks about how smart they are.
Yeah, and they're building up this raptor, right?
You're like, I can't wait.
I know.
But you're going to have to wait until 103 minutes into the movie.
But what's so interesting about this is that they're going through this whole thing with the raptors, and they haven't said shit about the T-Rex, and it's the most incredible scene.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
T-Rex
cool.
is really cool.
They kept it quiet, probably because at the time, everyone, like kids, I mean, we all
Like,
knew
T-Rex.
what
Yeah.
freaking T-Rex was, but Velociraptor, we didn't, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So we get to the dinner scene, and that's when Malcolm, in classic Brundlefly fashion, during his speech, gets upset and he starts to bang on the table a little bit.
You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility for it. You stood on the shoulders of geniuses to accomplish something as fast as you could, and before you even knew what you had, you patented it and packaged it, slapped it on a plastic lunchbox, and now you're selling. You're selling.
There he goes, whacking the table again.
He like reminds me of like Randall, like so much sometimes. I just imagine this is how Jeff Goldblum like actually is in real life. Whenever I see movies like this is how I imagine he goes about his day to day.
They said that when he does these scripts pretty accurately as they're written, and they say that's what makes him so talented. Is just, it sounds like he's that, and he's not.
Yeah,
He's actually doing the script. There's just something about his delivery that makes it sound like he's ad-libbing. It's at this moment he's making this shit up as he goes, but he doesn't, which I think is pretty.
He just has good delivery.
But this scene is important to the structure and plot of the film, because this is where our characters start to have second thoughts about this whole idea. We've been pulled into the Majesty. We see what Hammond wants to do. We understand that there's this passion out of Hammond, not for money. Obviously, if he can fund these people, he has tons of money for days.
Yeah.
It's just a passion project.
And we see that specific thing about the money where the lawyer, all of a sudden, the lawyer's on board, and he's like, "This is gonna be great. We're gonna make so much money."
Right.
And he's like, "No, I'm gonna let people in like for free. Like I don't even care about money." And he's like, "Oh yeah, you can have coupons."
Yeah, coupons for regular folk.
John Hammond means well. He wants to do something great that people love.
He does, and that's the tragedy. That might be a bit hyperbolic, but the tragedy of his character is that in his quest for good, in what he thinks is good, in his quest to build something, he didn't think about it ethically. Like he's the big idea guy. He doesn't think about it ethically like these PhD folks do. Like Malcolm's a philosopher kind of.
Yeah.
You know, he didn't think about it the way these guys talk about it. So.
Right.
He's at odds when he goes around the table and everyone starts throwing out these objections. You know? And, let me give you one from. He's just.
Dinosaurs had their shot, and nature selected them for extinction.
So there you have it.
That's a very valid point too.
Because Hammond tries to use the condor, and it's
Yeah, he says, "Well, what if I was doing this to condors?
Yeah,
that'd be like awesome."
And that's when he reminds him that condors are affected by man.
Yes.
Dinosaur was not. So
Correct.
presumably.
Who knows what's going on, man? Back in those days.
So the kids get there.
Yeah.
The kids arrive.
Yay, children!
And a lot of times I'm like 50-50 with kids in movies.
Yeah, I agree.
These kids were great.
I liked these kids a lot.
I did too. They didn't bother me
I thought
at
they
all.
were really funny, and I thought they were both good actors.
They were.
I thought they did the kid, Joseph Mazzello.
Yeah.
I guess he originally
He's Tim.
he auditioned to be in the movie Hook.
Oh, really?
And Steven Spielberg was like, "You're just like too young, but I promise you, I'm gonna put you in another movie."
Wow.
And so he put him in this movie, and then the kid's like, "This is the best thing that ever happened to me. I was in Jurassic Park instead of Hook."
Yeah.
Like,
That's
do you
awesome.
imagine the difference? Like,
That's awesome.
Anyway,
Pretty cool.
cute kid.
So then
Now he's like an adult. He's about my age.
Then we get another story scene dropped into this thing, and that's we've had a discussion about this impending storm.
Yeah.
So that's going to make things challenging. So what do we have at this point? This is a good time for us to evaluate. We've got this guy who wants to do this park, and he's outside people to sign off on it. They get there, and the film gets interesting because they all are admittedly just dazzled by what this man has been able to do.
Of course.
However, they struggle ethically with the idea of it, and that's what makes it kind of smart.
Yeah.
It's more than just a dinosaur action film when you watch it when you get older. It's the idea of what have we done? What
Yes.
and that's one of Malcolm's biggest gripes is you didn't really consider in all this time you took to figure out if you could do it, you didn't think about if you should do it. And that's like one of his big arguments.
Mm-hmm.
And I like that. So it gives you some of that. You get some cool dialogue about what's going on. It gives you some of the break in the actions and stuff like that. But then they continue the tour. They get out there and they go, and
They don't see any dinosaurs.
yes, it's a big no-show. They're a bunch of big blue pants.
Yeah, just empty tanks. It's like when you go to the zoo and you're like, I can't wait to see the freaking wolf, and it's like sleeping. Like, F you.
Yep. Nothing is going on. The Dilophosaurus is not there. T-Rex is a no-show. They try to bait it with a freaking goat.
Which is so fucked up. That poor goat.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, listen, okay, I get it, predator, prey, whatever. But at least take the goat off the goddamn chain. And I know that sounds stupid because it doesn't stand a chance against a 9,000-pound fucking killing machine. But Jesus Christ, take it off the chain. So.
That poor, and it was funny when the T-Rex wasn't coming out because the goat just like laid down.
Yeah,
like, I'm tired. This is stupid.
He's like, fuck it, I'm gonna take a nap. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what he said.
All right.
Oh my god.
I need to get out. Let's go. T-Rex, no show. So.
They see the
T-Rex wants to hunt.
Yes,
T-Rex wants to hunt. They do, but we do need to reveal that Dennis is here.
Oh, is that
Dennis
that's
is
his
here.
name? Sorry.
Dennis Nedry.
I'm like, who the hell is Dennis again?
Dennis Nedry or Wayne Knight.
Or Newman.
Or Newman. Take your pick. And we learned that he bid for this job that he got, but apparently he didn't bid high enough, and that's probably his inspiration for wanting more money.
You know anybody who can network 8 connection machines and debug 2 million lines of code for what I bid for this job? Because if you can, I'd love to see him try.
Sorry about your financial problems, Dennis. I really am, but they are your problems.
Here's the problem, Dennis. When a crazy rich guy comes to see you with an accent, and he says, I've created fucking dinosaurs.
Is that what he says? Is he Scottish?
He sounds Scottish to me, but that was a little Bravehearty.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I felt like you were going to yell at me.
All right.
Say it's not Braveheart.
No, that's Irish. For God's sakes, we're not going to have this 28 days later conversation.
Oh my God. I hate you.
I hate you so much. Sorry. He's such a weirdo, Goldblum.
I love him.
So, when a guy in all white with an accent, as I was just saying a minute ago, comes up to you and says, I've created dinosaurs, you go, holy fuck, I want to get paid a lot of money.
Yes.
Because he says he bid on the job, so he's some kind of independent contractor.
Yes.
And now he's gonna bitch and sell this guy's secrets out. What a slime!
Yeah,
what a slime!
Pretty much a douchebag.
Yeah, he's a douchebag. He's worthless.
He'll get his.
And he's a
Spoiler alert.
slob, by the way, according to Sam Jackson. By the way, Sam motherfucking Jackson's in this movie.
Yeah, I know. I saw it on the board.
Fucking Nick Fury back in the early days.
Snakes on a plane.
Yeah.
Why is there velociraptors on this motherfucking island?
That's preposterous.
Oh my God.
How dare we go there?
We're out of control.
All right, so yes, they go visit the Triceratops.
And it's sick.
P.S. My favorite as a kid, just like Grant's. Loved that fucking thing.
The Triceratops?
Loved it. Every time that Triceratops, plastic Triceratops that was purple, battled my red T-Rex, he always couldn't bite him because of that big cool armor plate behind his head. He'd always like block the T-Rex and I'd go, no. And then I would have the T-Rex just fucking ram him with his horns. And that was the end of the T-Rex.
That was terrifying.
Triceratops?
And Triceratops could actually beat a T-Rex in a fight.
Oh, really?
I read it somewhere.
You and
Probably
Mr. Horner?
Probably my dinosaur class.
Dinosaurs 101
I
over
took
here.
that class. I wish I could find my freaking transcript and
Yeah,
post it on freaking Twitter.
I think I saw your book on the shelf. It says Dinosaurs Are Wicked Awesome.
Yeah, you probably did.
Guy, I went and I took a dinosaur class once, and we learned all about dinosaurs and how they eat. The T-Rex is wicked awesome, guy.
All right. So poor Triceratops is sick, by the way. By the way, who's the guy helping the Triceratops
Some
with the hat?
veterinarian.
So he's a doctor.
I think I read somewhere park veterinarian.
Oh, okay. So he's a doctor.
But I want to tell you why the Triceratops is sick, because I know.
Oh, okay. Go for it.
I learned this my dad. No, I'm just kidding.
Did Mr. Horner enlighten you? Please, Mrs.
No.
So Matthew Anderson is a professor of alienology and xenobiology. He's an alien expert apparently, and knows Ridley Scott. You happen to know this Mr. Horner guy, and you're an expert on dinosaurs. So
Yeah.
please, by all means, enlighten us. I wish I could put music behind this.
I wish I could do. I should just read this, in a voice like this. The guest's encounter with a sick Triceratops ends without any clear explanation as to why the animal is sick. Michael Crichton's original novel and screenplay, however, include an explanation. Triceratops lack suitable teeth for grinding food, and so, like birds, would swallow rocks and use them as gizzard stones. I don't know what that means, but you don't really have to. In the digestive tract, these rocks would grind food to aid in digestion. After 6 weeks, the rocks would become too smooth to be useful, and the animals would regurgitate them. When finding and eating new rocks to use, the animal would also swallow West Indian lilac berries. The fact that the berries and stones are regurgitated explains why Ellie never finds traces of them in the poop.
Wow. So is that like...
Damn.
So let me ask you a question, though. Is that like when I can't go and I gotta eat lots of prunes and kale?
That's actually nothing like that.
Oh, okay.
And so they kept saying every 6 weeks, because every 6 weeks the animal would regurgitate it and have to eat another one. But it was getting sick from eating the other stuff too, but they need it because they can't digest food because they can't chew it.
So wait a second, you're telling me the Triceratops is sick because it ate rocks? He fucking deserves to be sick then, you dumb
He needed to eat the rocks.
No wonder you went extinct,
He needed to
you
eat the rocks
mope.
to digest his food. Don't be mean to him.
He was my favorite. If I could go back in time, the T-Rex would win all of those encounters between plastic figures. I'm pissed at
the red T-Rex and the,
Yes.
the purple Triceratops.
Yes, okay? And sometimes they'd fight my army guys. Got a problem with that?
Who would win?
The fucking dinosaurs. Jesus Christ, woman.
They're just dead army men strewn about your childhood home.
Did Horner not tell you that?
He told me everything.
Okay, so
Ellie's like, I'm gonna hang out with this veterinarian.
Despite the fact that there's despite that this is end of days storm coming. By the way, let's have a listen. Let's get a storm update.
The storm center hasn't dissipated or changed course. We're gonna have to cut the tour short, I'm afraid. Pick it up again tomorrow where we left off.
Because we're all fucking doomed. So, storm's still coming in.
Ellie's like, I'm just gonna hang out here.
By the way, when she's playing with the dinosaur shit,
yeah,
I don't mind that. Right, I get it. It's funny. She got these big arm condoms on. She's digging
Gloves?
through it. Sure.
Okay.
Really, gloves that go up to your shoulder? Is that what they're
Arm
called?
condoms? Is that what they're called?
Touche. But she's squatting down in those little, Steve Irwin shorts like they're all wearing. And she's got shit, dino shit. I know it's not real dinosaur shit.
It's not.
Come to find out.
It's not real dinosaur shits.
Mr.
Although
Horner over
could
there.
Have been.
Yeah. She had shit on the inside of her thighs, and I was like, ugh. I wanted to barf.
You threw up everywhere.
Ugh. Dinosaur shit on your... Just shit on and or around your... Okay. All right.
Okay.
So, storm's still coming in. She got dino poop on her thighs.
She's just gonna hang out.
Yep.
The Triceratops, and they're just gonna keep going on this tour.
That's right.
They're just gonna keep going.
So, then we get nervous and
I finished the and I thought maybe I should tell you that the system's going to be crawling for 18 to 20 minutes or something.
Sound like he's up to no good at all.
the sweaty man who's bumbling over his words, who's already miserable, is acting odd. And none of these brilliant people make any connections that he's
And I
up
like
to.
when they're like looking for him, and like Cameron's like, "Oh, look at the vending machines."
Fat
Like he thinks that's actually like where he went, and like.
Check the kitchen.
Oh my god. No, the kids ate all the cake, so there was none for Newman. We'll get there.
All right, check the kitchen. All right.
Wow.
Yeah.
But what he really did was he deactivated a bunch of shit
Yeah. Basically, he did a bunch of science fiction shit.
so that he could steal the embryos.
That's right. And
You didn't say the magic word.
that was one of my favorite sound clips from this film when I was a kid. We used to say it all the time. All right.
God.
So he asks people about sodas. We got the Jeeps out at night, and
They just stopped.
they stop because they're electrically powered, and boom, they stop. And that's that. Dennis steals the samples. I like the little exchange. Goldblum's like, I love kids, and then he drinks out of his flask.
Yeah. He says so much funny shit too. And like when he talks about being married, like I don't know. He says I'm looking for the next ex.
Future Mrs.
The future ex Mrs.
Yes. That's so good.
Oh, sorry. I just got excited thinking about Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, I bet you did. You're like a baboon.
Love that body, that sinewy body.
I'd hug him so fucking hard. I'd hug him so hard. Stop laughing into the glass.
I'm sorry, I was drinking and I laughed at the same time.
You sound like fucking Bane. Like, we're not gonna do. This is how we're gonna do podcasts from now on. Oh no! It sounds terrible.
I was drinking. I was taking a sip of my water. Now I have no water left.
You don't deserve water.
Oh my god.
You get no water. Yes, I thought that was funny too, Mr. Goldblum.
Oh my god. Let's get back to the action here with the escaped T-Rex.
Malcolm asked Grant about Sadler if she's available.
Oh, that's at this part where they're stopping the thing. Yeah.
Because he's always like, hitting on her and stuff.
Yeah, and then in real life he was boning her, so. And yeah, so they're like just looking around. They're like, where did the goat go?
Right.
And then it's like, bam, bloody goat leg.
Yep, absolutely. And
things are not good.
This is an incredible sequence, right?
Yeah.
We have a great moment in cinema with the arrival of the T-Rex and this whole scene where it's prodding the jeeps and looking for some kind of food. It's hears or whatever.
No,
it does.
doesn't. It motion. It needs motion to see. Like, you stay still, it won't know you're there.
I don't know if that's true, but yeah.
I think it's true. Last time I checked when I read My Life in Times of Dinosaurs.
Chapter 7, Visual-Based Visual Acuity. Movement-Based Visual Acuity. Chapter 7, written by Jessica Vazina.
And then we get the brilliant footfalls, which we talked about in the production notes. The boom and the ripples. Oh, that is so memorable.
Scary.
Just the slow tension building of the scene. We get the rain. It's so paced well, right?
Yeah.
You get everything goes off. The storm's coming in. Everyone's waiting around. We got the footfalls, the vibrations, the thing breaking, the goat leg. It was just shit. It's the van.
Scary.
And it's so great. And the whole T-Rex sequence is just unreal. That's when they were shooting at night and in the rain, and it was around like one that Stan Winston made.
Yeah.
His team made. But a lot of it is CGI too. Like, they do a lot of this blending, which is nice. Like, when it's bumping the truck is CGI.
Yeah.
And it spins around and stuff like that. Just great tension, great moments in this film.
Right.
Because
definitely.
It's not like this heroic thing where they're battling this creature.
They're trying to fucking
They're
get
just
away
like,
from it.
we need to avoid it. Luckily, it doesn't have keen senses like modern predators.
Right.
And we can kind of hide right out in the open with it, which was perfect and stuff like that. So these scenes, man, I must have watched this particular scene so many times. And one of the things I love about the T-Rex and the way it looks, and something I really thought Jurassic Park did to what we visualized as the T-Rex was those deep set eyes with like the kind of archy eyebrows, and it had this wicked evil like look to its eyes.
Yeah.
It just looked evil.
Wow.
Terrifying.
It's a fucking dinosaur.
But it's not evil. It's just an animal,
It
right?
just wants to eat.
Yeah. That's all.
It's hungry.
Just wants to get a
It
little.
wants to chase some prey.
It does. It doesn't want no.
That's so
it
wrong.
wasn't not. It doesn't want a goat all tied up.
Yeah.
Once I go to run.
Boring.
Exactly. Look at the size of my mouth, guys. Huh?
Seriously.
Give me a fucking
goat.
Yeah. Give
on
me
a chain.
a little bit of, I don't know, challenge.
Yeah, he'll get some challenge later.
So
actually, he's just gonna eat a bunch of people first.
And we're intercut with the scenes with Dennis getting attacked by the Dilophosaurus, which is so cool. The way it's like.
I love it because it's so cute at first. Like, and I want it to be my pet. I'm like, I love this dinosaur.
And he's like, oh, stupid, I'm gonna run you over. And he's being stupid, and he drives too fast, and it's at night, and he didn't anticipate the storm, and the storm does him in, and he knocks over the sign, gets lost, gets turned around, crashes his car. He's going to pull his car up with a winch and the cable that he's wrapping around the tree, and that's when the dinosaur goes after him.
The dinosaur's so cute.
And it spits, and that spit hits him, and then it hits him in the eyes.
It's like,
Ugh, so cool. It's like a cobra. It's reminded me of.
those dinosaurs don't really spit like that.
I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised.
It was amazing.
That's okay.
I did wild. I'm sorry to disappoint you with that.
You
They don't
didn't
really spit like that.
You didn't disappoint me.
Oh, good.
It's okay.
Anyways, that dinosaur's really cute, and I wish it was my pet. I could just send it to the houses of people that piss me off.
What?
Go spit in that person's face, dinosaur.
What is wrong?
It's like an attack dinosaur.
You are
A guard dinosaur.
I don't know what your problem is.
You and while that thing is like, that would certainly scare people away. No one's ever gonna break into your house and get that dinosaur hanging out.
Huh?
Right?
Sure.
Okay. Moving on.
Where would you place your fake dinosaur is the question. You're like, I would just take a real one and just kill my neighbors. Yeah. Oh, I don't like your music, you're dead.
Yeah, exactly.
You cheer for the wrong sports team, you're dead.
Loud children. I can't kill children.
So,
Back to the T-Rex.
yes. Awesome when the T-Rex is attacking the kid's vehicle
Yeah, it's terrifying.
and Grant and Malcolm are just frozen.
Oh, yeah.
What are we gonna do? They have nothing they can do. And that's when Grant steps out with the flare. And he's like,
Throws it.
hey, and he throws it. It's like the T-Rex is kind of playing fetch, the way its head swings around.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Cool. And then Goldblum does the same thing, like you were saying that.
Yeah, he was like, I'd like to be heroic. Thank you.
But yeah, they managed to get away from the T-Rex and make short work of the Jeep, which was awesome. Just a great scene.
And it also eats the lawyer
Yeah.
in the bathroom.
And it fucks up our boy Malcolm. It's funny, you were watching this today and you're like, is
Is he dead?
Yeah,
like,
I couldn't
remember.
Yeah.
And I was like, this would be devastating.
It's funny, so many little details of the film had slipped my memory. I only remembered major moments.
Yeah, me too. It, like
The
somebody had
T-Rex in
eaten
the cars.
bathroom.
Yep, the eating in the car. The first sight of them. The T-Rex at the end killing the raptors. I totally forgot about the whole kitchen thing at the end that we're going to get to in a minute.
That thing was cool.
I remembered like the tour and stuff and the egg.
I remember when she got sneezed on. That's the most memorable part of the whole movie for me is when that girl got sneezed on.
Yep.
I used to be like mortified by that. I'd be like, oh my god, that would be the worst.
I totally forgot
That
about the
would be
Triceratops.
worst.
Like when they're walking through the grass, I'm like, oh, what's this? Oh yeah, the Triceratops.
How could you forget about Triceratops? What is your favorite dinosaur? The purple one.
I don't know, I just did.
Wow.
Crazy, huh?
That is really sad.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna edit this film to where the T-Rex just eats it and walks.
I thought you loved the Triceratops.
I can't make up my mind with him or her in this
How?
case.
Yeah, they're all girls.
Yes.
Get it right.
Right.
The women dinosaurs take over the world.
I think to be a woman, you have to be just in front of
The female dinosaurs take over the world.
Okay. So, Dennis gets killed in the Barbasol can. It's buried neatly. We know that's a great seed for a setup for a sequel.
I'm sure it
right?
is.
And Muldoon and Sadler get to the scene and they find Goldblum tourniqueted his leg.
Because he's brilliant.
Of course.
Because he's a scientist.
And here's where Grant's with the kids. He ends up rescuing the kids and they're in the tree. And he's talking to them, right? He's talking to the kids and he's like, they're not monsters, they're just dinosaurs. And he starts to warm up to the kids and they all sit together in the tree and they all kind of fall asleep in the tree. And he has this moment where he takes his velociraptor claw and he tosses it.
Yeah.
What is he saying?
I don't know. I think they're just reminding us there's a velociraptor to come.
I think he is...
He's like, instead of dinosaurs, I'm going to have children now.
Maybe he's thinking in that moment that the romance of it has dissipated now that he's been in contact with actual dinosaurs. Like, maybe it's just part of his growth arc to where he's like, yeah, maybe that is what it is. Like,
it's like my whole life is about these dinosaurs, and I never wanted to have children, but look at these children. They're kind of adorable.
now I'll toss this velociraptor.
I will throw this claw to symbolize my new love for children. Bam.
It's like fucking
Shit.
Frodo throwing the ring in the goddamn mountain at the end. So, Yeah, so that's what happens. And then we have a really good moment with Hammond and Sattler when they're eating together.
Yes.
I love the way this whole scene is set up. We see Hammond before she gets there. We see Hammond in there, he's eating. We see Sattler start to kind of creep into the scene, but before she gets there, we have these great shots of all the merchandise.
Which is so cool, because by the way, I remember people like literally wearing those Jurassic Park shirts when I was a kid.
Absolutely.
No joke.
You know
I
what
remember.
You know what's crazy about this movie? This movie was able to create merchandise for the movie and have like the symbol of the movie, the logo of the actual.
Yeah.
And it works because it's for a theme park.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's cool, right? Most movies can't have their own logos that are like out there, you know, like that, and then they're actually available in real life too. So pretty cool.
It is cool.
Anyway,
that's when you get that feeling about Hammond that like he wanted to do this great thing and like had all of the best intentions, but that's just not what was to be. You know what I mean? You almost feel bad for him.
that's right. And that's when we have this whole discussion between Hammond and Seth.
It's all an illusion.
When we have control.
You never had control. That's the illusion. I was overwhelmed by the power of this place. But I made a mistake too. I didn't have enough respect for that power, and it's out now.
And that's when she goes on to say, the only thing that matters now is the people we love. Your grandkids. You know, we got to get them back.
Yeah.
And that whole scene when he's talking about the flea thing and all that stuff, and he's going on and on about the illusion and magic and all that, that's what he's entranced by. And it just clouds him. He's like, if we could just control it, but not thinking again. He's like a very much a romantic. He doesn't think about these things.
Yeah, exactly.
And she sort of has to slap him around. And it's perfect because they're like, he's the idea guy, he's the creative guy, and they're like the pragmatists. They're like, listen, listen, this isn't gonna work, dude. Snap out of it, for Christ's sake. And that's something he struggles with up until the end of the film, which is cool.
Right.
Now, there's a bunch of like little scenes throughout this park and all these different things that happen, but they talk about like how the frog DNA, West African frogs spontaneously change sex, and that's how they're mating because they find dino eggs, blah, blah, blah. There's this shot of Goldblum laying on a table like this. With,
like how Jeff Goldblum would lay on the table.
Exactly how you would imagine he would do it, with his shirt unbuttoned all the way down, and he's like, hey, I think we should try this, you know? And I'm just like, dude, what are you doing? Why are you laying like this?
Oh my God.
It was like that seduction painting, you know? He's like this on the couch, you know, with his shirt open.
I wish that like that could be like the photo for like Jurassic Park, like when you download it. It's just Jeff Goldblum on the table with his shirt unbuttoned. People are like, what the fuck?
That's gonna be the picture. Let me make a note. Seductive. Hold on. Seductive Goldblum Pro.
People are gonna be like downloading this shit, and they're gonna be like, why is this photo on here?
I don't see one fucking dinosaur. This is bullshit. He's bullshit. Come on.
Bullshit.
So yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna. I can screen grab it off of the Amazon Instant.
Wow.
Yeah, and we'll have a nice seductive picture of Goldblum as our.
I wish we could hang it up in our office.
Yeah,
we might.
I may paint this. Allow me to paint your chest.
Dean goes to like one of those like wine and like painting things, and they're like trying to make him draw flowers, and he's just painting Jeff Goldblum.
Listen, to all you scientists in the field right now working with baboons, I have the answer. I have this painting I'm going to do. It's going to work wonders for your communication and relationship to really sort of understand the baboon, you know?
Oh my God.
Breakthrough connections coming soon.
Wow.
So they decided to shut down the entire system. They weren't sure if they were going to be able to do that, but they do, and then they kick it back on, and things they have shit to do, right?
They have to do stuff quick, and what happens is Sattler goes to the place so they can do the shutdown. She can turn everything back on from the breakers because they realize the system is back up and it's working, but the breakers are off or whatever.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, I don't know. I only know about dinosaurs, not breakers. So she goes to the place, follows a little map. She goes with that dude, and he's like, I gotta shoot that dinosaur.
Oh,
busy. Muldoon's like, I'm busy. I got shit to do. You go take care of those breakers.
Yeah, but doesn't he say we're being hunted?
Oh, yeah, he does.
I love that moment.
I do too.
Pants shitting fear, right?
So he's gonna, take care of it. He says she runs in the thing. They're giving her the instructions on what to do. And while she's doing all this shit, they're climbing over a fence that's about to turn on and electrocute the shit out of them.
and it does, by the way.
It's
which we'll
very,
get to.
very tense.
Yes, it is. And unfortunately for Muldoon, Mr. Most Dangerous Game over here,
Yeah. Most dangerous game.
He's hunting. First of all, he's hunting dinosaurs with a shotgun. Probably not the best idea for you gun aficionados out there. Maybe not the best weapon for a fucking giant, murderous, ancient creature. Probably something better. Second of all,
yes,
I love the scene where he realizes he's been beaten. It's so great. That's it.
that is one of my favorite lines in the whole movie when he says that, because I love the fact that she's right there and that respect he has for her.
It's
he's
awesome.
You were a fucking smart dinosaur. I knew it.
And then he's
you got me. Then he's I'm dead.
And then as it tears him apart, he's probably I no longer respect you. This is terrible. This is horrible. The way I am dying. This sucks. Why did you cut off my baby dick? With your claw, like Alan Grant said you would.
Oh, no.
That's not nice to say Muldoon as a baby, I think.
No, that wasn't nice. I don't know why you said it.
Sorry, Muldoon.
R.I.P. Muldoon.
He's like, I got a fucking veritable hog dangling between my legs, mate.
Does he talk like that?
I think so.
Okay.
All right. All right.
No, nobody in this movie talks like that.
I am Willie Wallace. All right. Okay. So, P.S. Mel Gibson's Scottish accent is terrible. It's awful.
This has nothing to do with Jurassic Park.
Who cares? People like tangents. They've written in feedback that says such.
Yeah, someone wrote in feedback that said they hate
if you weren't busy studying fucking dinosaurs in school, you'd know a little bit about broadcasting. Oh shit! The running herd, that was awesome. The T-Rex comes barreling ass through there. That was a great scene.
Well, I like that because they're all running and they're like, oh, it's like they're, when you're running away from something. And I'm like, okay, you probably should think about what you just said and wonder what's coming after us.
What's chasing it? Quick production tangent. When they shot the scene, that first they were telling Spielberg, you're not going to be able to have this camera moving while they're running.
Yeah.
And that was he's like, that's not going to work. And they had to figure out this whole way to go about doing that. But that was like a real tough shot for them because it wasn't just like we're showing the CGI thing.
Yeah.
They had to he had this camera on a dolly, retreating as they ran towards it. And then they had to add in the stuff.
Oh my God.
And then they just recopied the whole thing digitally. It was really cool. You guys have to see the behind the scenes stuff. But
yeah, you have to, guys.
It was really cool. But yeah, the electric fence climb.
Yeah, that was crazy.
So the kid gets shocked off the goddamn fence. And he goes flying.